When you hear the phrase 12 tribes of Israel, you might picture names on an ancient map or stones on a high priest's breastplate. But behind each name is a story, one of power, promise, failure, and legacy. Some tribes led armies, others led worship. One gave us kings, another vanished completely. So, what was each tribe known for, and what happened to them over time? Let's take a journey through the legacy of all 12 and see which story still speaks to you today. We begin with Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob. By birthright, he should have been the tribe of leaders, kings, and priests. But Reuben's legacy is defined not by what he had, but by what he lost. He dishonored his father by sleeping with his father's concubine, and that act stripped him of the firstborn's blessing. Jacob's final words to him were harsh. "Unstable as water, you shall not excel." And true to that prophecy, Reuben's tribe fades quietly in the background of Israel's history, overshadowed by others. Next, Simeon. Simeon was known for violence. Alongside his brother Levi, he carried out bloody revenge against an entire city for the defiling of their sister Dinah. Jacob condemned that rage, saying their descendants would be scattered. And that's exactly what happened. The tribe of Simeon received its territory inside the land of Judah. Over time, they faded into Judah's identity. By the time Israel's kingdom divided, Simeon had almost vanished. In the book of Judges, they're only mentioned once, and never again. A tribe that once fought simply disappears from the battlefield of history. Levi's story takes a different turn. Like Simeon, they were cursed to be scattered, but through an act of holy zeal, they were redeemed. When Israel worshipped the golden calf, the Levites stood with Moses and fought against the idolatry, even against their own kin. As a result, God set them apart. They became the priestly tribe, serving in the tabernacle and temple. Unlike other tribes, they were given no land, only cities, because their inheritance was the Lord himself. From Levi came Moses, Aaron, and the entire priesthood. Judah was the fourth son, but he rose to leadership when others fell. He spoke up when it mattered. He protected his brother Benjamin. And from his line came royalty, first King David, and ultimately Jesus the Messiah. Jacob prophesied, "The scepter shall not depart from Judah." And it didn't. Judah became the dominant tribe in the south, even lending its name to the nation itself, Judah. And when all other tribes were scattered, Judah endured. Dan is a tribe of contradiction. On one hand, they gave us Samson, the mighty judge with supernatural strength. On the other, they became a center of idol worship. Early on, Dan struggled to take its allotted territory, so they migrated north, captured the city of Laish, and renamed it Dan. But instead of honoring God, they set up a carved image and a priest of their own choosing. In Revelation, Dan is mysteriously left out of the list of tribes sealed by God, perhaps a sobering echo of their legacy. Naphtali is one of the quieter tribes, but poetic and powerful. Jacob described him as a deer let loose, giving beautiful words. His territory stretched into northern Galilee, fertile, scenic, and free. When Deborah went to battle, Naphtali answered the call. And centuries later, the region of Naphtali would be the first to see the light of the Messiah. Jesus began his public ministry in this tribal land, fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy. Positioned east of the Jordan River, Gad was a frontier tribe, fierce and always ready for war. Jacob said, "A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last." True to that word, Gad's warriors crossed the Jordan to help their brothers conquer the land, even though they already had their portion. The men of Gad were bold, loyal, and fearless in the face of danger. Asher's name means happy, and their inheritance lived up to it. Settled along the fertile northern coast, Asher was blessed with olive oil, delicacies, and prosperity. Jacob said, "His food shall be rich, and he shall yield royal dainties." Though not politically dominant, Asher quietly thrived. And in the New Testament, the prophetess Anna, who witnessed the infant Jesus in the temple, was from this tribe. Issachar was described as a strong donkey lying between two burdens. It may sound odd, but it reflects their character: steady, reliable, and industrious. But Issachar wasn't just about hard work, they were spiritually insightful. Scripture says the men of Issachar understood the times and knew what Israel should do. In a time of confusion, they brought clarity. Zebulun lived near the sea and is often associated with trade and exploration. Moses blessed them, saying, "Rejoice, Zebulun, in your going out." Some scholars believe Zebulun had access to coastal routes and ports, contributing to commerce. Though often paired with Issachar, Zebulun's legacy stands on its own: adventurous, outward-looking, and blessed in their journeys. And now Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob and the one who saved Egypt. You'd expect a tribe named after him, but you won't find one. Why? Because Joseph's legacy became two tribes, not one. His sons Ephraim and Manasseh were adopted by Jacob as full heirs. Jacob said, "Ephraim and Manasseh shall be mine, as Reuben and Simeon are mine." This gave Joseph the double portion, a reward for his faithfulness and suffering. Together, Ephraim and Manasseh formed the powerful house of Joseph. Ephraim became the dominant tribe of the north, rich, centrally located, and often a leader among the others, but their pride became a downfall. Prophets rebuked them for arrogance and idolatry. Still, Ephraim played a key role in Israel's history, producing leaders like Joshua and being a symbol of the entire northern kingdom. Manasseh's inheritance was vast, so large in fact that it was split in two. Half settled east of the Jordan, the other half in the west. They were brave, yet not always unified. Though often overshadowed by Ephraim, Manasseh was still honored. Gideon, the judge who delivered Israel with just 300 men, came from this tribe. Benjamin was the youngest, but don't let that fool you. Jacob called him a ravenous wolf, and his descendants lived up to it. Fierce warriors, expert archers, and loyal to the end. King Saul came from Benjamin, and so did the Apostle Paul. When the kingdom split, Benjamin stayed loyal to Judah, forming the heart of the southern kingdom. Each tribe had a purpose. Each tribe had a story. Some were mighty in war, others wise in counsel. Some gave birth to kings. Others faded into silence. But together, they formed the foundation of God's chosen people. And their legacy still speaks of promise, failure, redemption, and destiny. So the question is, which tribe's story resonates with you? Is it Levi, devoted to service? Judah, destined for royalty? Or maybe Manasseh, divided but still determined? Drop a comment below and let me know your favorite tribe and why. And if you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's never heard the real story of the 12 tribes of Israel. Until next time, stay curious, stay faithful, and stay blessed.